Take a trip back to a simpler time, to an age where old traditions remained popular and new traditions were born. An era when families gathered with regularity and children played outside without fear. Manufacturing and mass transportation were still in their infancy, and agriculture remained a dominant force and an enviable career. It was around the turn of the 20th century that a young Swedish immigrant left his family farm and he came to America with only $20 to his name. That name, Emil Tyden, is a name few people recognize considering all of his accomplishments. Perhaps it was his modesty that kept him from achieving widespread fame.
He had this rather stern business attitude when it was needed, but he was also a jolly ho-ho Swede.
We take many of his advancements for granted today, including an invention that has aided in keeping our cargo secure for over 100 years, and improvements to fire sprinkler systems that still help keep us safe. And Tyden even contributed to our enjoyment of the Idaho potato.
Their climate's cold, they don't have a long growing season, so they have a lot of root vegetables. And the farm that Emil lived on grew potatoes as one of their major crops.
Discover how the inventive entrepreneur had a hand in helping to settle the West, and how he was honored by the King of Sweden, and what he did to serve his country during World War I.
He was called a $1-a-year man because at that point these people were basically volunteers. They worked for nothing except they got $1 a year.
And Colonel Tyden played an important role in shaping manufacturing fully a decade before Henry Ford starting mass-producing automobiles.
Tyden started right off the beginning, knowing that he had to make these things by the millions and sell them for pennies. He knew that in the beginning. Basically, he had to start at full speed. And that involved a huge upfront cost in making all the machinery that could make the seal in large quantities to have it as cheap as possible.
You'll also enjoy a glimpse back into agricultural history as you learn about the Tyden farms in Butler and Floyd counties. As managed by Art Lindell, the farms prospered by providing a decent wage to good workers through the Depression, with many of the help being groomed to take over the farming as per Tyden's instructions.
Most of these farms were run by hired help at first, and then later on they rented them out to different guys.
I know he had a plan for my grandpa AF of how to train the help and stuff, because that was his idea, is eventually have them on different farms.
8 farms in all. Together they were unique in implementing science into their farming practices.
He was always interested in farming in a strange kind of way, because he was always interested in doing it the most efficient way and using the best systems and so on and so forth.
As the colonel strived to make the farms among the nation's best, he and Lindell worked with George Cook in developing a protein feed. And soon after, the Tyden Feed and Livestock Company opened in Dougherty, Iowa. The building still stands today.
They made feed for all the farms that had the animals, and then they were so well known they got to selling it further and further away.
You'll learn more about the philosophies and the practices used when you visit Tyden Farm number 6. It was added to the National Historic Registry in June 2009. A massive barn and a distinctive cement corn crib still stand tall on the farm. Contact Ted and Junie Pitzenberger to arrange a tour to see these and other buildings while learning more about how Colonel Emil Tyden enhanced our lives.
Mr. Tyden was well respected, and I would almost say loved by the ones that worked with him. And I don't think too many people can have that said about him.
He was a great man, I'll tell you that.
You won't want to miss out on this rare journey exploring agricultural history and the Tyden legacy.